Hello everybody, the brand new Halo Infinite update has come to the game and we have a lot to talk about. From sandbox changes, buffs and nerfs, the exchange, that damn Halo Infinite shop, playable content, and the future of the title. Today, we're covering it all, as well as some quality of life fixes you might not know about. I played Infinite all of today and I've gone through the entire game top to bottom. Here is what you need to know. So let's start with the brand new feature, the exchange. The exchange is a free way by playing the game. You can unlock cosmetics you may have missed in the past, as well as some brand new items. On screen now is everything that is in the exchange. If you have been playing Halo Infinite ever since the game came out, you are going to have a majority of these items. I have touched on it in a previous video. Per month, you can earn 26,000 Spartan points. That is not enough to unlock the 30,000 Spartan point coating. 343 needs to reevaluate how many Spartan points you can earn or the pricing of the items. One item that stood out to me that you guys are going to love is the needle straight through the head cosplaying Cat from Halo Reach. That's been in the files for years, so it's nice to see it's finally out. Next up, we have the Battle Pass, the 20-tier operational pass. It is more or less Spartan points and the one set of banished armor. Something very important to note here, since 343 has added the exchange, that first win of the day that would progress you through your Battle Pass faster, that has been removed completely. In its place, you get Spartan points. You guys can make up your mind about that. I will give 343 props. The helmet does look very cool. There's actually some lore that goes along with it, and it's more or less humans from the outer colonies have aligned with the banished. Make of that what you will. Now, while we're on the topic of customization, here is the image 343 shared in the press kit. It shows armor for this operation, but it also shows armor coming up in the future. Front and center, you have banished honor. On the right, you have Tenrai 4. The rewards for Tenrai 4 will be on screen now. And there's also going to be a third operation called Spartan Surplus, some new pieces for the Mark IV core, as well as some returning pieces you may have missed. These next few operations barely have any content in them at all, and I'm using the word content very lightly here. It really feels like Halo Infinite has reached the end of its life cycle, and this could not be more evident there. There's even less than the banished one we have now. The last thing you guys need to know about customization is that with this update, 54 new armor coatings have been made into cross-core. Now, when I read that, I thought it was good news, but they didn't add any of the campaign coatings, any of the past coatings from before, or any of the coatings that still needed to be made into cross-core. All of the new cross-core is for the armor kits no one is ever going to use, and that's a real shame. Also, in case you didn't notice, in terms of playable content, that map in the background you're seeing on screen is a Relic Halo 2 remake made by Sparasoft Studios. So that will be coming out, I don't know when. The leakers showed it off about a month ago, but that is coming to the game. In terms of other playable content, it seems like VIP and perhaps Assault will also make their way into the game. We have no idea when that's going to happen. This update is the first update to have no playable content at all. There is a BTB Heavies refresh coming out in a couple weeks. That's going to be on the community maps that are already in the regular big team battle. Moving on from that, and very quickly, I'm going to shout out the Forge team over at 343. The new palettes are amazing. You guys have really done a good job here. I already know the Forges are going to be hard at work creating some new experiences. As soon as they become public, guys, I will share them with you. Next up is the Halo Infinite shop, and I was going to make a separate video about this entirely, but 343 has not learnt their lesson. Couple of things to talk about here. First of all, the new bundle is ridiculously expensive. There is a really cool banished bandit model in the shop, and 343, if you sold that bandit model separately, I would have bought it. But I am not going to fork out over $50 for an armor bundle when it's got all of this stuff I don't want in it. You guys are losing money, you do what you want. So many people are like, come on 343, not only is the pricing ridiculous, but we still can't buy individual pieces. Aside from that, in the shop, 343 is repeating almost everything. It'll be interesting to see just how much new store content comes to the game. As a very quick side note about the shop prices, I played a lot of Halo Infinite today, and you would be surprised at how many people still bought the bundle. So there is a reason why 343 doesn't let us buy individual pieces. People are still in mass buying the really expensive bundles. For competitive players, and I covered this last week, there's a few changes for you guys. If you are a ranked player, 1, the ranks have reset. 2, if someone quits from a game, the game will instantly end. And 3, if a game does load in as say a 3v3, the game won't end until the teams are uneven. Now, one change people have been asking for a while is for the death cam on Halo Infinite to be like past games. 343 has now made it so you can move your death cam around when you die, although they've made it really fast. So if you get motion sickness, just be careful. I've already seen people saying they're getting sick by spinning it around so much, as the sensitivity on it is really really, really high. Moving on from that, and this is the nitty-gritty changes that you need to know about. First up, the sandbox. The plasma pistol EMP is very, very good. I would remove it from the electrical weapons now, make it the primary EMP weapon, and then use the electrical damage as damage over time, and it can chain between enemies. The Cinder Shot nerf is massive. It fires very, very slow now, and it doesn't have a gravity pulling effect that pulls you into the explosion. The Sidekick nerf isn't too bad. The new pace of the weapon actually keeps the balloon small and stops it ballooning outwards, making the weapon more accurate. To many people, this was considered a buff. In any case, it still feels very good to use. Shout out to Y, who uploaded a very good comparison. I'll put it on screen here. 343 also nerfed the gravity hammer. It now isn't so scary if you see someone running at you with it. It is still very strong, and if you are near them, you are going to die very quickly, but it isn't completely unfair now. 343 also vastly sped up the skewer projectile. It is very, very fast now to make it more consistent. It's probably the best change they could have done in terms of making it more viable for people on higher latencies, aka me. Unfortunately, the gun is still very, very inconsistent. I'll put my examples up on screen here, but if I shoot where it's red, it doesn't hit for me at all. It is very, very hard to use. If you're on good connection, you're probably not going to have this issue, but I still feel like I should mention that. Now, 343's also made some changes to the networking. Unishek mentioned that during the live stream. I'm really happy with what they've done. The game feels much more stable on the whole, and if they're going to continue to refine the new networking model, I think it's going to turn out great. Now, some things that weren't even in the patch notes, but I figured I should mention them. Free-for-all now lets split-screen players play together again, so 343, thank you for doing that. They also fixed a bug in Escalation Slayer, where if you get 2 kills on one level, you can't actually end the game. They fixed that as well. And something major that a lot of people didn't expect is 343 actually added a toggle to turn off aim assist. Mouse and keyboard users are very happy with this, but also it means I can do some fun videos for you guys where I don't use aim assist at all. It's going to be very interesting. I'm going to record them later this week. And that's everything, guys. That is everything you need to know about the new Halo Infinite update. A mixed bag, some good quality of life changes, but not much in terms of playable content, and I know that's what you guys really want. New vehicles, new weapons, all of that good stuff. Unfortunately, none of that. In terms of shop items, 343, if you want money, let us buy individual pieces, and in terms of the exchange, please look at how many Spartan points we can get per week, or consider changing the prices of the most expensive items. And that is it. That is everything you need to know. It is so evident that 343 is moving on to the next game. What that game is going to be, we have no idea. Thankfully, the Halo community seems to be carrying in terms of their own content, both in Forge and in terms of mods, so we're very lucky in that regard. So thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know what you think of this update, and I'll see you guys later.